What is up, FIFA Tiers? Hello and welcome back to the 3 Foot Tiers podcast with myself, with Merzgoff, and also special guest this week. We've got Jamsters on. How are you guys doing this week?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Doing well.
Good. If any of you guys want to check out Jamsters, he is a Twitch streamer, YouTuber. He's also on TikTok as well. I'm sure Merz will kindly put links in the descriptions of both the podcast areas and on the YouTube video. But let's get this started off with what was rumoured last week, what I said was possibly happening. We actually have had our first 4-team promo. Shapeshifters has gone on another week. Some big names in there, but again, is this concerning that there's a 4th team that's come out?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
It's weird.
I don't know. It just feels like it's gone on too long. It's just a bit boring, really.
I know Brad said Shapeshifters is his favourite promo, but at this point, when you're seeing it for, at this point, a whole month, it will get very boring very quickly. I know in terms of sort of the tokens that have been out, it would make sense for it to prolong, but this long, we need to just bring on footies. Footies normally lasts about a month. That's the closest thing to a 4-week promo we've had before. Well, that's just gone on and on and on, but that's the end of FIFA that happens. The very end. But looking at some of the cards that have come out at this point, because they're still good cards, but we're tired of seeing Shapeshifters. We have got a centrally based Kante as a 98 cam. So that really did a lot. It's comparable to his, team of the year? That one is practically just a little bit of an upgrade on his team of the year. We get a
5-star skills though as well.
That is a big bit. Is 5-star skills. It's what they're snapping on pretty much anything that moves at the moment. If something doesn't have 5-star skills...
Or weak foot.
Or weak foot. Is it really a card on FIFA? If there are some cards like new that just don't have 5-star, it's becoming weird. Abedi Pele's now got a Bundesliga card though, so that's a left winger Abedi Pele, Bundesliga. People would prefer to see it Liga, and let's be honest, replacing the Janela cards that would have been there at the start of FIFA, maybe to go alongside a Neymar, but the Bundesliga gets a nice bit of help from this, which they've had a few good cards in this promo.
I don't know. I just found it a bit boring. I'm just looking at the team now. It's just the same players every single time, and the one thing that's annoyed me the most about this Shapeshifters thing is it's not before team of the season. It's like I feel like Shapeshifters would have been a lot better and a lot more fun if it was before team of the season. Like they could have got rid of so many bad promos and put a 2-week Shapeshifter one in instead, but I don't know. Just look at the cards and I just can't be asked to play. Can't be asked to play, I can't be asked to use them.
That's perfectly valid. I mean, you mention it. There was a captain's Pele, there was a captain's Cordoba, a captain's Di Natale, captain's Pepe. This is basically captain's, but more juiced. Is where the main gist that this is coming from.
Captain's Pepe as well.
Your captain's Pepe, captain's Dempsey.
Rule breaker David Silva. Delane at the left back with a wild card. Yeah. Claude Maurice had that fire and ice, which was just a waste of a promo.
That's legitimately my least favourite promo of the year, even compared to Numbers Up. I hate that more.
Kyle Walker had a road to the final, I think. Or was it a knock?
Yeah, no, it was RTTF, yeah.
Delit had another card, the SBC. I think that was a road to the knockouts, not finals.
I completely forgot about the leaked.
I think everyone in this promo, bar probably Haidara's had a card this year, like another card this year. Just juice some random Donnies for us, like the no one's ever heard of that's got like okay links.
Yeah, I mean the objective Iago's sort of along those vibes. He's only had informs, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah.
So that's something. A left back with 2 informs suddenly becomes a left forward, but. You're not wrong. It's just repeat offenders constantly. There's
Dan James.
Dan James doesn't get much love. So him now being able to link to that Bale that came out last week, make that into a Prem to La Liga hybrids. Stick an icon in between, job done. But as you mentioned, the only thing that makes them unique is position changes, and some of them aren't.
I mean, yeah, Kante from a CDM to a cam. I can do that with position changes.
I mean, most people already played Kyle Walker at centre back in prior years, so that's nothing original. It's not what people wanted. People wanted the goalkeeper variant, but that was never going to happen from EA. Let's be honest. EA weren't going to do that. But even down to Cordoba, Cordoba's literally Quadrado without the 5-star skills. So the more you break it down, yeah, you see a bunch of 98s, 97s, all the lowest ones 92, but they're just repeats. But at least, some of the SBCs are okay. You got Ricardo Pereira, fairly cheap, 86 rated team just for a left back version of him. You got Chris Wood out.
That Chris Wood's decent, to be fair.
Nice. Seeing Chris Wood get a card is actually, as you mentioned, something different, something nice. It's a random Donny to then just see in your team. I mean, 93 pace, 94 defending, 96 physical. Change the work rates. Looks alright. Looks like a solid centre back. And then we move back on to Marco Reus getting a moments card.
I think to be honest, I think that's the reason this FIFA's kind of been a bit stale, is because everyone's got the same team. And it's been like that for the past couple of years, and that's why it's always got stale around this point, is because like everyone's got the exact same team with the exact same players. Maybe like the odd 2 or 3 players are different, but I'd prefer if they just added like random players who are like you could link into like different teams to make it so every game I'm not coming against Kyle Walker, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Kimpembe with his new card now. Yeah. You know, I just don't want. I want to have a bit of variation in the teams, but I don't know. Don't think we'll see that for a long time.
I think you might see that next year, to be fair, with next FIFA and stuff.
Oh yeah, because chemistry's being reworked in it.
Yes, the 3-star chemistry instead of the 100 chem, and everything like that. I mean, I still use different cards from time to time. But I do still have 523 games on this Andre Silva, so.
But the other downside is the fact that EA are trying to make it a bit more accessible for people to be able to get hold of, like these special cards, and I think that then dilutes that sort of situation where you see diversity within people's teams. So you look at it right now, like not many people have got gold cards. Everyone's going to have a full special card team going, and like it's pretty much the same sort of situation. Whereas in previous sort of like years, maybe even going back even 5 FIFAs ago, you would still see people potentially using like Team of the Weeks, ordinary gold cards or something like that at this stage of FIFA, because it wasn't so easily accessible to get hold of your teams. You have really high end team of the seasons or something like that, or people using low end cards because that's all they could realistically afford.
Feels like everyone's got like a red Benzema or a red Vinny Jr. or like a big players that they've packed, like the top end players that it just feels like everyone's got them and everyone's got the same team and everyone uses the same or similar tactics. It's just a bit boring, a bit stale when you play, 20, 30, 40 games a week for weeks on end.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, my reds that I've got is the Dybala and the I've got a Yedder as well. They're sort of my marquee boys in that front, but it's still just as potent.
I don't actually think I've had a usable red this year. I can't lie. Maybe Tonali and Eder Militao, but I've played zero games with Militao and 8 games with Tonali. I just don't play the game really that much anymore.
That's perfectly fair at this point. This is when most people sort of... I dipped, March, I think, for about a month. Either February or March, I took time off and went, no, I'm gonna burn out. I'd rather burn out then earlier and then come back during this point and just enjoy it for a sort of almost like how everyone enjoyed the 85 times 10 last year, in that sort of same vein.
I wish I did them. I actually never opened a single one of them because I'd quit the game by that point. I said I was done with the game at that point.
That sort of point, I think me and Mers agree on this, is that's normally like the most enjoyable part of FIFA, is when they just start throwing everything at you and you're like,
yeah,
sure. It's no one cares at that point. You're just sort of having a good time, and oh, champs isn't going well. What a shame. Move on. Like, just, you sort of, it almost feels like freedom in that sense, that you're just going along casually instead of overly caring about what's happening.
It becomes a card collecting game in the end, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
it's not. You don't play any games of champs, or you don't play any games of whatever you want to play. You actually just get the cards and play maybe a game against your mate with them, and that's about it, really.
I mean, speak for yourself. Last year was when I pretty much started grinding player reviews for the first time.
Ooh.
I just started going week in, week out. What's that? I have time on a Friday evening. Well, looks like I'm doing the footies objective. Just that genuinely became me for about 6 weeks. It was painful.
But I bet it was worth it because no one else was doing it.
It was during the COVID era, so no one was actually, just, I'm not going out, sure, do it. There was a couple people, you had to just race to beat someone like Inceptions or Orzio, I think it was, and get the video out, sure. Yeah, outside of that, it's just getting towards that point in FIFA where you're starting to lose interest. You sort of persist a little bit if you want to, or you just move over to something else like Fall Guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it for slaughtering Team 4 and the concept of a Team 4 promo.
I mean, one thing I would say, which is going into the whole how long they've done Shapeshifters and bringing after Team of the Season, is what kind of effect would this have on footies, for instance? Like, you're looking at some of these cards and the sheer number of 95 plus cards in the game right at this moment in time, and who are available in that sort of range of players. And footies, normally they tend to go for the big name players. Like, there's not really much wiggle room to give these big name players the 99 rated cards, or if they do give them a juiced up footies card, they're not actually going to be that much better than potentially their Shapeshifters or Team of the Season cards.
The main ones in that sense that would be looking into is based off how they did it last year. They're going to boost some random starter card, because remember there was the Teles for like October, there was Saint Max. So they're going to juice up some early starter cards that haven't got a special card that would take them to that level.
Yeah, but even players like Atal's got a 95 rated card. Like, he's usually like a big fan favourite, but there's no way that you're going to be able to get an Atal or a Jesus Corona. Like, these players, like, you just can't give them a footies card because they've already got such a high rated card already.
Well, I think I've got a guess at one player that's going to be in there at some point for some reason. It's just going to be Luis Diaz, isn't it?
Nah, Weghorst.
He's got a 9.
Weghorst, 100% Weghorst is getting one.
100%.
You look at say the 5-star skillers, for instance. They always do one for the 5-star skillers, and you think Vinny Jr., for instance, might be somebody that might be worth putting in it. And he's already got
Max.
Yeah. St. Max is another one who's got a good card as well. Like, Vinny Jr.
Foot Fantasy. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot entirely about St. Max Foot Fantasy as well. Don't
worry. What
worry.
rating's that?
95. I've just looked it up.
So you can't even give it him.
The reason I said Diaz is because he's got a 90 rated card and people want better than his headliner. That's the straws I'm clutching at here. That's why I'm like, Diaz is someone that surely people are going to want that. The Liverpool fans will be all over it. But I'm trying. I'm really trying to find someone.
Same with Dembele as well. Usman Dembele. Can't really
have a Foot Fantasy.
Pogba. They'll just give all the French guys cards again. That's how they do it normally.
Yeah, Pogba's not had a special card since, Silver Stars, but
Yeah, it wasn't really.
That's chronologically, but other than that, it's winter wildcards. So maybe someone like him.
Fakir is probably a footies.
Yeah, he's
like looking
pretty much
card.
guaranteed.
Or Chewy Many could be again another one that you could just stick like almost 99 pace on him because he's only got 88 on his best card, 87 shooting. So yeah, you could easily have wiggle room on him. But like the list of good name candidates is a bit few and far between.
They'll find a way. They'll find
a way. Neymar, to be fair, is, even though yes he has got his team of the season, but he hasn't got a 99 rated card yet. So
or a 97 or a 98. So
yeah,
Neymar confirmed at striker soon. But yeah, it's got to the point where it's getting ridiculous on how long they're dragging things out.
Mm-hmm.
And talking of that, we've got the huge amount of tokens that are available and what we're going to spend them on, because I've got 27 at the moment. What was it, 50 that were going to be available? Something along those lines total?
Yes, 50
I don't know how many
on the dot is what will be available.
50?
Yeah, 50 Summer Stars tokens.
But there's only been like 5 SBCs.
No, there's more than 5.
They've been in objectives, mate. They've been...
Yeah. I don't care about objectives. I'm not funny. I'm not being funny. It's July. I don't want to be sitting grinding my arse off playing squad battles. No
to
one
be
does.
fair, you can get... Well, you only got 24 hours left on 2 of them, but there was
one of them at that point.
Not doing them.
Yeah, and then there's another 2 that are in Golden Goal 1 League that you can get like another 4 tokens in the next 7 days. So they have been a tiny bit generous. They haven't made it so bad in the objectives, to be fair. I will say that compared to previous
less squad battles games and more 1 league.
Yeah, and more tokens in 1 objective as well.
I still find it weird that they put 8 into 1 object, like two per objective, 4 in that objective slot. So they've given away 16 from that alone, plus the ones in some of the objective plays for shapeshifters.
Yeah,
I just don't want to play them.
Absurd. Yeah, no, I get that. I on the other hand have stupidly gone along with this. So at the moment I can afford that 5-star, 4-star Kimpembe, which is tempting, but also I am the guy that just opens packs, the high rated packs, for no valid reason. So that's probably gonna be what I'm gonna do. So I'm probably going to open the 96 plus tots, because someone in a chat earlier was saying if you get the 5 lowest rated, you get Neymar, which is, that's not going to be true. To chuck in Modric or something just to make that better. But yeah, 5 team of the seasons 96 plus is quite nice for 30. From what I've seen, all the shapeshifters ones, I think is it 95 plus shapeshifters?
Yeah.
That one I've seen some alright cards. I've seen an Adama in that.
I've seen a Ginola in that, to be fair.
You've seen a fair play.
But then again, we are talking about July here. Realistically, you're gonna use Ginola in 1 game and then just not play again,
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much the way it goes at this point in FIFA. Anything you do get, you go, oh, okay, sure, and then just maybe pick it up once or twice.
I remember when I packed team of this season Ronaldo on FIFA, probably talking like 15 or 16.
Okay, 15 was where I packed Ronaldo twice in 2 weeks at the end of FIFA.
And it was untradeable as well, and it was like, oh yeah, I got Ronaldo.
That's
and then
16.
I played
15 didn't have untradables.
Oh, was it 16? Yeah, I played one game with him and scored a hat-trick and didn't play ever again.
I mean, you when you pack someone back in that point in FIFA as well, back in FIFA 16, if you pack someone like Ronaldo, you
tried him out.
Competed FIFA anyway.
Yeah,
that's you can't top it. What are you playing on for? So I definitely get that from back in the day. I used to build like a proper god squad. That was the days when you could just FIFA 15 was when you could buy coins as well before price ranges existed. Like just easy as you like. But yeah, I was genuinely shocked that I packed Ronaldo twice in the space of 2 weeks. although it was August. So no one else is opening packs. But yeah, Mers, what are your plans with the swap tokens?
Okay, so I've collected 25 so far, and I've redeemed 11 for the fodder packs, and my god, it was an absolute fucking dire shit show. Not a single shapeshifters on my main account. So I was like, okay, I want to test my luck. I'll go on my other account that I don't play on whatsoever, except for the time for actually trying to grind some of these tokens. And I've opened up the 82, the 83, and the 84. And I got, in the 82, Shapeshifters Dempsey. In the 83, I got Shapeshifters Claude Maurice. And in the 84, I got Shapeshifters Pepe. So
It's not bad.
my other account had better pack luck than my main account. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, EA. I appreciate the love. Not. But as for the rest of it, as soon as I saw that Kimpembe for 27, I was like, okay, now I'm a bit torn. Do I actually continue going for the player picks, or now do I go for Kimpembe, because that card just looks absolutely amazing. And I took a screenshot of like some of the best like CDMs in the game at the moment, and the list is not that long. You got N'Golo Kante, but he's 4.5. Jude Bellingham, Timmy Cahill, Trent Alexander-Arnold, which I didn't do and is an SBC, Asal, Tonali's team of the season, De Ligt, Fofana, and Kimpembe. So, you know, and I've already got Tonali, so having Kimpembe and Tonali at CDM until Footies comes out and a CDM in that comes out could be.
I doubt that's topping Kimpembe anyway.
Yep. So I feel like I should do that now.
I mean, I've got 5 mil coins. I don't know about you two. I'm just chilling. I'm not even that bothered anymore. I don't rarely even play. I just come on to open like packs and stuff like that nowadays.
I mean, I still go on fair somewhat regularly. I've got 1 mil sitting away there, but yeah, I'm not on it as much as I was, say, a month ago.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. I still play. Like I've got a FUT Champ set up at some point. I've qualified, but that was just doing a review and getting that set up. But yeah, whatever I take from this, if I take the Kimpembe, that's review content, or if I take something from a player pick, it's just something to do. So I'll probably just do that Kimpembe, honestly. It's tempting. It's
Take
really
both.
tempting.
I might just open this
Take both.
100k pack.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, fuck. Right, I'm going to show you boys as well. You
Oh,
can include this
can't
as well.
wait.
The content's there. 100k pack, and it is. And it is. It's a normal walkout. Cheers, lads. I think it's going to be Lukaku.
I was going to say...
Oh, no, it's De Bruyne. It's De
Oh.
Bruyne.
91
even better.
rated. That
Oh.
means you probably got back about 60k.
Gomez. Well, no, it's untradeable.
I was on track.
Yeah, why not? But yeah,
Kevin
back
De
to it.
Bruyne worth 40k. Wow.
40k, and then what you got? Gomez's.
Do you remember when he was 20k right at the start of the game?
Oh mate,
I mean-
prices have been messed up for most of this FIFA.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend.
I've got 150k as well. I'm going to open a 125.
Most expensive gold rare Mbappe are 80k. Wow.
Bloody
Amazing.
hell.
That's
I didn't even get a walk out of the 125.
Oh dear. Oh
Wow.
dear.
Typical
Oh,
pack
mate.
luck, I'd say. I
got
feel
one-
like those
got
125k
184.
packs are never worth opening.
Yeah, I got 184, so that's cheers.
184.
Emmy
Christ.
Martinez.
What a guy.
So yeah, you got a nice sort of 250k pack opening there, boys.
Oh, there we go. Love it.
Going from virtual football to real world football talk now, and more transfer news. It's been a quiet week though. It's been a quiet week with transfers. There's only
Not for
really
one team.
3 notable transfers to really talk about this week. First one
There's
was
7.
Yeah, about to say
There's
there's one team
There's
that's
7. That's the mighty
Yeah,
Rams.
if you support. Actually, I can't diss teams in League One. Sorry, shit. I was about to diss League One then, but then I'm a Forest Green Rovers fan, so I can't really do that.
No.
As well as an Arsenal fan, so I can't really do that. Okay, I'll keep my words. I was going to say, who the fuck would support a shitty League One team, eh?
Both of us.
He says he was, and then he's just committed. It's
Fuck
alright.
it.
My local team's in the National League now. It's okay.
So we'll start off with a little bit of Sinistera going from Feyenoord to Leeds for 25 million euros. So Leeds trying to look like maybe the replacement for Rafinha, as he looks like he's probably going to be leaving Leeds. I would say that is.
I think he's almost dead set leaving Leeds. It's all but confirmed, really, isn't it?
It's just where at the end of the day.
Barcelona or Chelsea is the. I'll say that Chelsea are getting Raheem Sterling, so might not even be Chelsea. You never really know.
Exactly. Which is not 100% confirmed yet, but it's pretty much done deal.
99.9% done.
Yeah, basically. And that's for £45 million, with 10 mil for add-ons, which isn't too bad. I mean, for Man City, with a player that's only got 1 year left on the contract.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it's quite good.
I'm not that big fan of Sterling, to be honest.
What in particular makes you say that?
I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't offer a lot. I don't know why. I just don't feel like he offers that much in terms of, like, he might score a tap in, but, like, he won't really do much else.
Yeah, Sterling's one of those sort of like weird players where he can be good on the day, but in terms of what he can offer is very limited. He doesn't really score many long shot goals. He pretty much will score close range goals. I think I saw a stat that said, like, I think only one other player scores closer to goal than he does. On average,
he can't dribble past people either. He's rapid, but he just can't dribble past people. And he hogs the ball too much. Remember that clip of the when he was playing for England, and that guy was like, now to Walker, and Raheem Sterling's trying to run past like 5 players, and then just falls over, dives for try to get a penalty, and just goes out for a goal kick.
That's the England way, mate. That's I mean, Sterling. That's just it.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to talk about that country.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, Merz is a Spain fan, so you know it's fine for him to talk.
Yeah. I'm English, but I support Spain. You might not understand it, but it's how I work, alright? It's how I roll. It's 21st century, right? I identify as a Spanish person. There you go. Boom.
Oh dear. Right, we're starting to get into that kettle of fish. So Merz, any other major transfers this week? We've got Sterling and Sinistera.
We've got a departure from Spurs. So obviously Spurs have been busy on the ingoings, and now we've got Bergwijn leaving Spurs to go back to the Netherlands, and he's joining Ajax for 31 million euros. Which, again, I don't know how much did you guys pay for him? It must be in that sort of region.
I think we have made money back on him. Let me just have a double check.
Yeah, someone who doesn't really play for you guys, and if you have made profit, that is good going.
I mean, he's not really that good either.
I think it's practically the same, if I'm being honest. I think we've made our exact money back. Oh, no, it's the other way. Oh, that's me looking at the wrong article. Lovely. How much does it... Why is it not saying?
I don't know. I never thought Bergwijn was that. He looked decent to begin with when he first come into the Premier League, but I feel like he's just like lacked a load of confidence and then been dropped, and now just kind of like a bit pot player was a bit pot player for Spurs, and to be honest wasn't really that good for
the only sort of highlights you can think of with Bergwijn,
Leicester
game and the debut against City. Outside of that, you're struggling to think, oh, what do he do? Like Kulusevski slotted in and done a great job taking over on the right wing.
And now Richarlison as well.
Yeah, Richarlison.
Cracking transfer that is for me.
Wing, or whether he's just depth, because to me it seems like Spurs are trying to act like a City, like a Liverpool, where they're buying. They've got. When you look at the benches of teams like that, of Chelsea, of City, of Liverpool, they've got a loaded bench as well. You look at Spurs last season, you got what, Harry Winks.
Yeah, no, you need to.
Lucas Moura, Harry Winks, and Bergwijn.
The sad reality is of the Premier League now is you need 22 world-class players to be even anywhere near City and Liverpool. Like you can't get away with using like Harry Winks, like even like Oliver Skip. Obviously, I know he's young and he's decent, but like if you want to win a title, you don't want Oliver Skip in your team. You look at City, you look at Liverpool. They've got what, Foden, who doesn't even play. You know, he's not a regular, and you got Trent, who are the only academy players that play for either of them. Can't actually think of any others.
Joe Gomez doesn't play.
He's from Charlton anyway.
Though. Oh, true. Okay, it's not even academy. Harvey Elliott.
Fulham's academy.
Fulham academy.
You are literally, there's literally, that's it. Even you look at City, the players that are breaking through at City, they've all been picked off from other academies. Even Liverpool, like you look at Cade Gordon, who's starting to break through a bit. He's from Derby's academy. You look at Liam Delap from Derby's academy. You know, that's the. I'm not going to talk about that because it really does piss me off. About the top clubs just hoarding all like the good, promising like young players. I think it's ridiculous, but
I think that might be starting to change though, because they're trying to put in rules into place, like limiting amount of loans. But
it's not going to change anything for them to just buy them and then keep them in the under 23s, is it? That's the thing.
No. But then the problem is then it gets to a point where you can't really maximise or profit off of them if they don't turn out very well. Because most of the time you loan them out and then you can get
you make your money back. You make your money back on the loans, and then you just sell them off for 5-6 million of pure profit.
And then the problem is if you restrict the amount of loans that they're planning on doing for homegrown players.
How many are restricting it to?
I think it's meant to be like maybe 3 or something like that. I think it might be within the league, and then an X amount like external to other leagues or something like that. So I think in total it might end up being like 6 or something like that. So generally trying to encourage more homegrown players for other teams and stuff. I think it's also to try and help the national team a little bit, because then it encourages other teams to produce more youth players and stuff.
Yeah. Well, for an example, right, I'm going to say Derby because obviously it's my club and all that. You look at who Derby could have produced in the past 3-4 years, and you're looking at like 70-80 million pounds worth of players. You've got Luke Plange, Malcolm Ebiowei. Luke Plange went for £1 million. Ebiowei on a free transfer, so we get about like 100k compensation. Two genuinely top players. You've got Cade Gordon went to Liverpool. You got Dylan Williams went to Chelsea. Liam Delap went to City. And you just got all these players that they just get picked. The top of the top just get picked off by, you know, the top clubs. So it's a bit annoying. But the compensation package, I think for having a player for like 10 years at the club to then they go to like City or whatever, City only have to pay like 600k. They'll get that in the loan fee in 2 years time when they turn 18 or 19.
I've looked up the new loan rules. It says a maximum of 8 players for this coming season, reducing down to 7, then down to 6 ultimately. So they're gradually reducing down on it. Yeah,
you look at clubs like Chelsea, and you look at they had like there was a stat. I think it was like 2018 or 19. They had like 60 something players out on loan. But the thing is, it worked for them because they were making shit tons of money from it with all the loan fees, and then they're not actually paying any of their wages. They're basically just generating money for free.
The other thing is Man City, for instance, can work around it, I believe, with these rules because of pure
Sister
fact
clubs.
that they own, they own so many clubs around the world, and they just end up giving the players out to them. Then when they develop, they then bring them to Man City and stuff. So
there's more about that. You've got like Watford with Udinese and Granada. I want to say it's Granada or Girona, one of the two. But they just transfer them for free. Forest and Olympiacos just transfer the players. Like Forest bought a player for 50. This is gonna sound really salty, but Forest bought a player for £15 million in the Championship. He was shit, and then sold him to Olympiacos for an undisclosed fee, rumored to be about £13 million, instead of losing him for a free transfer the next transfer window. So it's just blatant.
Yeah, definitely sounds dodgy at the end of the day.
But it gets around the FFP rules, so effectively they can spend an unlimited amount of money, and then obviously once they get promoted, which they have done now, they're the EFL can't say anything because they're not under the EFL anymore. But like realistically, what stops? I don't know. Let's say
go for it.
Someone to buy. Let's say Dorking. Someone buys Dorking, right?
Yeah.
And then buys Bangkok United, right? Spends £200 million at Bangkok United, or whatever. Them spend £20 million at Bangkok United, loan them all to Dorking. Every single one of them, or transfer them all over for free to Dorking. They can't do anything. Like
No.
Dorking are going to sit there, piss the league with all these top quality players. I know it doesn't work like that, but it sort of does. They just transfer the best players between them for either free or minimal value transfers to suit the club, and then if they need to sell a player for a higher inflated fee, to sell them for a higher inflated fee.
I mean, I personally love that. If Bangkok FC can get in touch, I'd love that. But no, genuinely, there's always going to be exploits. There's always going to be some route round things, sadly. It's just the way things are. It's as sad as that is really to say.
Sell Alfie Rutherford for 200 million to Bangkok United. All of a sudden, Dorking are the richest club in the top 4 or 5 leagues and spend 200 million pounds on players. It's sort of how it works, pretty much. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I'd be open to that. Less so much just selling to Derby on a cheap, but you know, we'll take good money for him.
You only need to look at, say, Man City and some of the sponsorship deals that they do that have links to the owners, and it's like, is that's a clear way of showing how you're getting around financial fair play.
It's like how Mike Ashley used to do with Newcastle, on it. Have a deal with Sports Direct.
Yeah,
inflate
really
the
spent,
fee.
So.
Yeah, I know, but he could have inflated that commercial fee to then spend more money and generate more money that way. But I don't know. It's all about money nowadays, isn't it?
Mike Ashley probably did it the other way round. He probably got Newcastle to pay Sports Direct for the privilege of being the sponsorship.
Paid him a penny. You're gonna sponsor Sports Direct for a penny. Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous how football works nowadays. It's not old school football or football
commercial.
as I remember it. Yeah. It's like in the pre-season, like, do you remember the Asia Cup and the Audi Cup and stuff like that, where like, I remember there was one season, and I want to say it was the 2018 season. There was 8 Premier League teams playing in a cup. I think it was it was like the Asian Premier League or something like that. And there was 8 Premier League teams playing in it, all just playing against each other. So you had West Ham, Wolves, Chelsea, City, I can't actually remember who else. There was loads of teams that were just playing pretty much like their under 23 squads against each other, but like in China and in like South Korea and stuff. So it was like getting like new fans and commercial and all that stuff.
I don't remember that one, but I do remember stuff like, as you mentioned, the Audi Cup. You know, can't forget Spurs' last trophy. Who could forget that?
Yep.
But yeah, Spurs' last trophy. The one before that was the season before, the ICC. Spurs won that as well. Such a good team. But no, those pre-season tournaments I do recall of some way.
Yeah, the Premier League Asia Trophy only has 4 teams, but all Premier League teams, and Wolves won it last time.
You never hear them parading it around. No Audi Cup. No Audi Cup.
And Chelsea, the most successful club with winning it twice.
Well, talking about like playing pre-season friendlies in certain countries to gain fan base. Even signings are like that nowadays as well.
Oh like yeah, I know. You have like Hwang Hee-chan for Wolves. Like he's shit, but Wolves have pretty much only signed him to get South Korean fans in, make more money.
Saw what happened with Son Heung-min and gone well.
Yeah,
worth a punt. He came from the Bundesliga as well. It's worth a punt.
It's like as well. Wolves have got like they've got like 4 or 5 Chinese players in their like youth squads and that, basically to hopefully one day one of them actually becomes half decent and he's playing at Wolves, and then all of a sudden gets a load of fans from China.
Grow a market, so they might do.
The best ones are the Egyptians. Like if you get like an Egyptian footballer, like you're guaranteed you get an extra 2 million fans.
Well, hey, El Neni, thank you very much.
Well, El Neni's the most followed Arsenal player, isn't he? Yeah, he's got like 10 more million than the next player. He's got like 30-something million on followers on like Instagram and that, because literally only because of Mo Salah. There's no one else apart from Mo Salah. It's crazy.
But in terms of transfer rumours as well, there's not looking on mine. On Sky Sports News, I can't see much there. I can see talking about Joe Gomez signing a new contract at Liverpool. Bit of an interesting one, I feel that is, especially considering that they got Matip and Kanate, who are higher up in the pecking order with him, and also now they got a proper backup right back as well to Trent. So it's not like Joe Gomez is probably going to get much game time at right back either. So
I don't know. I feel like they've kind of tied him up to sell him on. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I honestly think he needs a loan deal away, personally, or something. He needs something to work with.
You probably do well at like Villa or Wolves or someone like that, where it's like there's not too much pressure on him. But the only problem is his injury.
I think West Ham's still a shout.
I don't know. West Ham have got some good signings. They got that Nath Agard. Is it Agard? Aguiard? I don't know how you say his name, but he's class. West Ham have got a good team. Very good team, actually.
They're now a persistent threat, which is sort of always is looming around the quote big six.
Yeah,
in
not
terms
really.
Of
big
signings,
six.
nah, not really anymore. But you know, it's fine. Looking at some of the rumours, I've got BBC up instead of Sky Sports. It's mentioning how Arsenal are attempting to make a surprise approach for Kante.
No way.
Whoa.
No way.
I know. This is when I say we're going to rumours, I mean start off with a very big.
That's your paper
rumour.
talk. That is.
That is very much paper talk. I'm looking fully at the paper talk section. Do not worry. That's exactly what's happening. That's reported by the Star, so that tells you how incredible that is.
If you see the Sun, the Star, the Daily Mail, all of them ones, just get out, man. I don't even want to see them.
Okay, noted. Noted. So that one's out.
You'll see them. They'll all be out. They'll all be out.
Star.
I think what you need is actually to go onto Twitter and look
at, honestly, that's the best. That's the best way I find transfers is Twitter.
Pretty much.
It's the only
Brighton
way.
are in talks over, according to The Athletic, Brighton are trying to get Cucurella on an improved contract.
Be a big signing for him. Big signing for him.
Chelsea have been informed that if Bayern do end up signing De Ligt, then Upamecano's free to leave. He could be available. Strakosha might join United on a free. That one seems a bit random. That would be purely backup, you'd think.
I don't know. There's a lot of it's paper talk nowadays.
A lot of it is. It really is paper talk. Napoli's director has said Mertens has rejected a new deal. That's as of Fabrizio Romano, so that's credible. That's something. But yeah, we are very much running low on rumours that aren't paper talk.
Barcelona are apparently going to be signing Cesar Azpilicueta.
I don't know how they're going to be. I don't see him being a club in 3 years' time. I'm just going to say it now. I don't think they'll be a club. The way they're spending money, the way they're spending their money right now, bro. Like, they weren't sustainable before, but they've reached like a new level of unsustainability. Like, they're having to like sell players to register players. Oh, Frankie De Jong like £30 million in wages.
I think it was 17 is what I saw.
Was it?
I think it's 17 mil owed to him in wages.
But then like spending like 55 million euros on Ferran Torres. Like, where's the money coming from? I know they've sold. Is it 50% of their TV rights for the next 10 years?
No, it's 25.
I think it's 20. I think it's 20 for 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's 25 years worth. That's actually insanity.
It's ridiculous.
Selling your TV rights for 25 years is insane. As well as stuff to do with merchandising, I think, as well.
Yeah, merchandising rights. So like that would be shirts and sales and everything. So yeah.
It's literally short-term gains for long-term losses.
They've got to be up there as probably one of the like obviously probably my club's probably there as the worst run club going, or was at least. But like out of like the top clubs, they are by far the worst run clubs. Their wage bills in a crisis. They're spending shit tons of money on shit players. So they're not competitive in the league. They've got some decent players, but they're just... Oh, Rafinha's on his way to Barcelona. Mike Keenan's literally just tweeted that out 2 seconds ago.
60 mil, is it?
Yeah, again...
So another right winger,
the money?
Alongside Ferran Torres.
And Usman, they're trying to get Usman back as well.
It's just baffling. Honestly,
but I genuinely don't see how in like 5 years time that there'll be a club, because they're spending like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're spending like 300% of their income like just on wages.
I have a feeling the Spotify owner is going to buy them.
You think?
Because they now sponsor Barcelona.
Yeah.
And their deal with Barcelona is a bit of an intriguing one as well. I can't remember the details of it, but it's not your typical style sponsorship either. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in and buys them in a couple of years' time.
I don't know. I don't see him being a club much longer. I think you'll be looking at you'll either look at a club that's realistically they're gonna have to either sell all the big players, but by the looks of it, all their big players are taking a wage cut, and they're gonna owe them a lot of money, or they're gonna have to just file for administration or whatever they do, and no doubt the Spanish government will bail them out because obviously they're one of the biggest tourist spots and stuff like that. But I don't know, it just doesn't look good for them.
It does not remotely look good.
Saying that, I think a lot of clubs are at that point, especially with COVID. COVID has been a massive effect on, I think, 99% of football clubs. And the only one...
vegan on Threads because of that deal that TV deal that went horribly wrong.
Yeah, and you look at literally the only clubs that are doing well are like the elites, and then everyone else is having to sell all their best players to the elites for super cheap because they just can't afford to run. They literally cannot afford to run their clubs.
But then again, if you take, for instance, Everton, that you said, like, it's in a bit of a financial problem at the moment, but that's because of how they spent their money.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, they should have had points deduction last year, I think. If you're breaking FFP in the Premier League, there's something seriously going wrong there for you to be breaking financial fair play in the Premier League, because you're getting a guaranteed like 100 million a year, and they've been getting that guaranteed 100 million a year for about 15 years. Well, they've never been relegated from the Premier League.
From the Premier League era, yeah. The only teams who've never truly been relegated is Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it's Arsenal.
But outside of that, yeah, Premier League era, they're a mainstay.
I mean, actually, Arsenal have been relegated from a top tier, but this is going way back in
1800s.
Yeah, it's when we were south of London rather than north of London, I'm pretty sure. But I think that's as much as we can cover up with transfer news this week. So we're going to go into the Q&A session. And hey, we haven't really actually got many questions, or if any questions, because I haven't really put it out there to the viewers to submit some questions. However, I'll start off with my question. So we're going to have a movie-based question. So obviously, all the big movie studios, they put the name of the studio or the little intro bit at the start of movies, and I want to put out there mainly with ones with actual audio sound effects. So this is Universal. I'll even put Disney in there. 20th Century Fox. Which movie intro do you think is most iconic? Like most memorable, shall we say?
Universal. Well, my favourite's the Pixar one. I like the Pixar one, but I think is it the Universal one that's like dun 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 dun, that one?
No,
20th Century Fox.
Oh, is it that? Yeah, that one.
The Universal one's the planet, obviously spinning around in it. They're almost similar-ish, but in terms of like maybe like the instruments that they're using, but yeah, 20th Century Fox is for me a bit more iconic because of remembering like Star Wars. For instance, like having that, and then Lucasfilms, and then the rolling credits, reading that, and then boom, Star Wars. That for me is ultimate iconic situation. Luke, what do you think?
Honestly, I think 20th Century Fox as well. It seems to be the one along those sort of vibes. You see it even with stuff like The Simpsons. It's something you see practically everywhere as 20th Century Fox. So I
think it's the sound effects that does it the most, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it does.
I think we need a food-based question, and
I was about to say, my question specifically to Jamsters of what sort of food hot takes you got? We've gone through a couple now. Hot takes. Because there's been some mental ones on here, like fruit and nut is the best chocolate bar. So, that's the level we're talking.
Okay, right. I'll actually tell you this now. I was debating this on stream today. Ooh. Someone asked me what's my favourite Pringles flavour, right? Ooh, and I went. I said, obviously I was going to say what my favourite one was, but I said before that I think I need to get something off my chest. Barbecue pink Pringles are dead. 0 out of 10. They're horrible. They're the worst Pringles going.
Interesting.
Because you get one of two crisps, right? They're either bland as, and there's no seasoning on them, or they're overloaded in seasoning, and it's just physically not nice to just eat seasoning.
I get that. As soon as you said there's two, as soon as you said it, I was like, I wonder if that's why. It crossed my mind.
And that's why I think they're the I feel like if the seasoning wasn't so like aggressive almost, that it would be all right. But I just think barbecue Pringles, they're on like E tier list of crisps in my opinion. But every other Pringles, don't get me wrong, every other Pringles is probably like S tier. Even like prawn cocktail and that prawn cocktail Pringles slap differently. And that's actually my favourite flavour. But
interesting. That's interesting itself.
What? Prawn cocktail? You never had prawn? Have you had one?
I'm not saying I'm not saying that, but to be the favourite, that's probably somewhat a hot take in its own right.
What? Prawn cocktail Pringles?
No, just prawn cocktail is a general flavour, like being the favourite.
Nah, prawn cocktail Pringles, they're not like.
I think it's somewhat divisive. I'm
proper
sure
prawn cocktail, if that makes sense. I don't know, they're just nice.
I like prawn cocktail crisps. I think Walker's prawn cocktail is probably one. If I was talking about Walker's here, is my favourite flavour. I've never had Pringles prawn cocktail though.
Different, honestly, mate. Different gravy.
I'm trying to think if I have. I'm normally a sort of a sour cream and chive sort of guy.
Yeah, no, I like the green as well. Like if there's a choice, because usually you never see the prawn cocktail like ever. Like you go to Asda, you don't see them. Like they're like proper boss man shop food, basically. Like boss man tier scran. But yeah, usually I get the green ones. I'm not a massive fan of the blue ones, and the red ones are a bit plain for me. But I think the barbecue ones are just, oh my days, bro, they're the worst things to ever exist.
See, my favourite too is the barbecue and the sour cream and chive. Yeah, an onion. My actual favourite one is not an all year round flavour. So the last few years at Christmas time, they do a glazed ham flavour.
Okay.
And that flavour definitely hits differently. It's got a bit of a very sweet taste to it.
Yeah.
But oh my god, it's probably the closest to actually tasting like the actual product itself.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like it's prawn cocktail, but it's only the Mary Rose sauce taste. Basically, it's not like got a meaty taste or anything like that to it. Seafood taste. And it's like.
It's like roast chicken crisps, bro. Like, I'm sorry, if you're eating roast chicken crisps, bro, don't get the roast chicken. Just get a chicken. Just have some chicken. Go to Tesco. Go to the Tesco deli counter and get some roast chicken if you're feeling roast chicken. Don't get the crisps because they don't even taste like chicken.
They just taste like herbs, basically.
Yeah, literally, that's all it is. It's pointless. Yeah, that's my hot take.
Meat. Oh yeah, I don't like meaty flavoured crisps either. I don't like the beef ones or anything like that.
I like the beef ones. To be fair, beef ones are alright.
I'm a flame grilled sort of McCoy's kind of guy.
Oh no, they slap. They do. I have them for work.
I also have them for work when I have to go in. I do have them for work. Or it's sort of sometimes like the Max crisps as well.
Yeah, Max ones are good.
If McCoy's and Max are also good. They're sort of my ones that I'll have if I'm sort of doing something, or maybe if I'm feeling healthy, I'll have like some popcorn instead. But that's normally my go-to if we're talking meal deals here.
I mean, a lot of people were actually when I said that today, I was expecting like a lot of like, oh, what are you doing? Barbecue Pringles hit differently and they're well good and all that. But a lot of people are like, low key, you're actually right. It's just I just can't back them. Like if I go to the corner shop, and they've only got the barbecue Pringles, I'm just gonna get some other. I'd prefer Walker's ready salted crisps over them.
Okay, interesting.
Like they're just it's just too intense. So they're either plain as or they're just too intense. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I get that. As soon as you mentioned sort of barbecue, I was like, oh, okay. And he said Pringles, I was like, okay, no, that's fine. Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. Barbecue's like barbecue flavored crisps for like every single one is like well nice. Like, but nah, Pringles just dead. That is.
They just need to balance it better. If they hit the balance, then maybe it's okay. But as you say, it's just it's plain or. smash you around the face.
I don't. Yeah, again, I don't really like that. I don't. To be honest, like, I don't really like the seasoning on it anyway. I think it's a bit. It doesn't really taste barbecue-y to me. It tastes a bit just peppery. Just doesn't really taste very nice. But yeah, that's my food hot take, and I'll die on that hill.
Now I'm gonna stick with food-related thing, as GH last week did give another food-based question, and it's talking about alcoholic beverages, and he is asking, what is your favourite and least favourite alcoholic drink, and do you prefer drinks in a can, bottle, plastic bottle? Did they even do them in plastic bottles and glass bottles?
At festivals or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
You'll find stuff.
Don't
in
really
that
go to
plastic.
festivals.
Oh, me neither, but still, that's where you'd find them.
So, what's your favourite and least favourite then?
I mean, if possible, you have it in a glass. Like, it's what it is. Normally, though, alcohol, I'll have Copperberg mixed fruit or something. Just depending on how much I'm feeling like drinking, just that as something sort of just for a social sort of thing.
I want to have another hot take here. I'm about to have a hot take.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Cider and beer, horrible.
What, mixed?
Wow.
No. Both just disgusting.
Oh, both horrible.
Both
Beer,
disgusting.
I'll agree with. Beer, I'll agree with. Cider, I'm not as on board with, but definitely beer I can get behind being not something I'll naturally have. Unless I'm forced, I'll have something else.
Definitely try flavoured cider as well.
Yeah,
So,
no, I like them, but I feel like I'm drinking a fruit shoot. Like, it doesn't feel like it doesn't really
fruit shoots, mate.
taste. Well, no, fruit. Don't get me wrong, fruit shoots slap. But if I'm having a fruit shoot, I'm having a fruit shoot with like vodka shots in.
Yeah.
And also, actually, another one. You are mentally ill. You're mentally sick if you drink tequila. If you have tequila shots.
Well, I'm mentally ill.
Right, I'm sorry.
I not only drink tequila from time to time, I can drink it with a straight face, no salt, no lemon. I don't know what's happened to my tolerance, but I can just straight face it. So.
Yeah, no, my girlfriend does it. Like, we'll be on like a night out or whatever, and she go, "Let's get tequila shots." I'm like, no, I don't want tequila shots.
I don't naturally order them. It's if someone orders them, I go, "Oh yeah, sure, no, why not?"
I'll tell you what are nice though. Sambucas. Apart from every time I've had sambucas, I've been violently sick. I really enjoy sambucas.
Thank you. I get so much flack for that I genuinely enjoy Sambuca. And I just get so many dodgy looks. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've had many
a Sambuca in your time.
I've only had it about 3 times. I like it, don't get me wrong, but every single time I've had it, I've been really ill just everywhere. So I don't really have it that often.
One thing I need to try, I can't think of it, is the it's pure aniseed.
No.
Why can't I think of it?
Absinthe.
Yeah, that's it. I need to try absinthe at some point. I might have tried it once. I can't remember. That's probably a good sign that I actually have had it. But yeah, George, hot take.
Yeah.
I didn't have the blackcurrant fruit shoots. I had orange fruit shoots growing up. That was what I'd have. I'm pretty certain that's a hot take.
I mean, I basically had
I had both. To be fair, I had a lot of both. So I think there was another flavour of fruit shoot that I used to love.
The green one?
No, not the apple one. The apple one was dead. Oh, I'm gonna have to get it once. Trying to get right fruit shoot. Oh, it's the red one. Yeah, it's the red one, the strawberry and raspberry one. Oh my days, they were different. Oh, they were so nice.
I can confirm that fruit shoots was definitely after my time. They first made them in 2000. I was 12 then, so.
To be fair, I was old enough to remember the green J2O. No one remembers the green J2O.
I don't.
But that one for me hit different.
I like the glitterberry. They were
okay. I was on the apple and melon sort of vibes. It was a
I think I
precursor to
remember
apple
that
and
actually.
raspberry.
No, I think I remember that.
It was a precursor to apple and raspberry. It was apple and melon. It was green. And I genuinely just loved that. I was heartbroken when they stopped selling them in I think probably 2006.
Going on back to the alcoholic beverages for myself. Favorite is cider. Fruit flavored cider. Something like the one that I do like the most doesn't get sold in Tesco's anymore, which is Old Malt, pomegranate, and strawberry. But they don't do that anymore. So my new favorite. Well, this has actually been my favorite for the last year since they've started making it. Kopparberg mixed fruit but tropical version. And least favorite drink, red wine. Tastes like chemicals. Like,
I don't like red wine.
How anyone enjoys red wine, I don't get it. Doesn't taste right. How can you enjoy it? It tastes like I'm drinking bleach or something like that. But I don't really drink much in terms of spirits either. So, and to be fair, spirits they only really burn. Like they don't necessarily taste much unless obviously their base ingredient is a flavoursome thing like gin or something like that.
I mean, the one thing that I know based off what's been said, absolutely trigger, is that when I used to play sort of down the football club, I'd order a snake bite. So
isn't
the fact that
isn't that cider with
cider with beer?
Yeah.
That's so I was like, that's gonna trigger. Considering what you said, I was like, yeah. So that's why I've had cider with beer.
I feel like I think my main problem with beer is not like what it taste. No, obviously the taste is like disgusting. Don't get me wrong. Beer is just a disgusting thing. But I feel like it's after. I feel like I've got like something brewing in my stomach. It just doesn't feel nice.
It's that yeasty sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of force myself sometimes to try and have beer. But it's not something I'm happy about having.
When I was like trying to impress all my mates and shit, I'd always go for a beer.
I think if I was
unfortunately never have to be in that.
Try beer now would be maybe some of these craft beers that are very popular nowadays. So stuff like
my girlfriend has them. Have all these like special IPAs and all this shit, and I'm like, try it once. I'm like, nah, do never ever give me any of this. It's horrible.
I can't say I disagree too much, honestly.
I think we need a FIFA-based question since you're a guest on the podcast, and it's not always nice to hear thoughts and opinions based on FIFA. So I think we'll go with a nice simple one directed just for you, Jamsters. First one will be favourite foot era FIFA.
FIFA 14. Those vibes. They were just vibes around that time.
An undiluted version of FIFA, basically.
Yeah, but I think that was more nostalgic, where like everyone had different teams. Like I remember like getting really excited in like January or February. Like I was like looking at Luka Jovic's card. Is it Luka Jovic, the ex-Man City one?
Luka Jovic is the one that's just
no. What is it?
For years.
Something Is it Jovetic?
Oh, Stefan Jovetic.
Yeah, that Donny, the Montenegrin guy. And I was like, I was looking at his card one day in school, and I was like, you know what? That guy looks like a sick cam. And it was like February. I went home, bought him, and position changed him. He was shit, don't get me wrong. But the excitement of me looking at this 84 gold card in February, like when I look back on it, I think it's crazy. I was like, oh my God, he's got like 83 passing. I was like, oh, that's sick for a cam. Let's put him in.
I mean, I love doing crazy things like that. The other year I ended up playing Vardy. Was it last year I played Vardy CDM constantly?
Yep, team of the season.
Team of the season Vardy, high work rate, 60 odd defending.
Yeah.
Could still shoot. That was what was important. But yeah, it's just doing sort of weird, interesting things with FIFA is great. Like I played with Colombians for literal years. So I mean, the fact that I packed that new Cordoba might give me the inspiration to go, do you know what? Let's bring the Colombians back.
Yeah.
Go on, let's bring them back. But yeah. I sort of, in that same vein, I miss Cuadrado as a right winger. I really miss him as a right winger.
Oh, I'm gonna have a question. Best player you've packed this year. I'm gonna tell you a story after it.
Are we talking at the time or?
I'm talking monetary value wise or whatever you think's the best. Basically, who do you think is the best player you've packed this year?
I mean, monetary wise, it's Dybala as a red pick. Team
same. I think it's same then. If we're going by red picks.
What about tradables?
Tradables, Lewandowski, team of the year.
Tradable for me would be road to the final Mahrez.
Was that when he was like 1.2?
800k or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you a story now. So, this year,
I remember this.
from getting, so I've had this year 2 times. I've made over 150k on rewards twice, right? I've got 14 every week when it matters and whatnot. I've had 16 one week, and the only time I've ever had over 150k made from rewards, I made 6 million coins and 3.5 million coins.
I remember one of them. I remember one of them clearly.
So
and the other,
yeah, I packed Team of the Year Mbappe tradable, which is probably the one you remember.
Nope, I remember the second one.
Oh, yeah, I packed Rafael Leao. Yeah, packed Rafael Leao tradable as well. Team of the season when he was 3.3.
I knew of the Leao. I knew of that one.
I'm surprised you didn't see the Mbappe one, because that went semi-trending on Twitter. When I say semi-trending, I mean...
talk about it, as soon as you mentioned, oh, I made this many, I was like, I remember the Leao clearly. I remember that 2-parter.
Yeah, it was a crack, and it was actually a 3-part, that one, I think.
Oh, damn.
It was like, I made 3.5 million coins on rewards. I was like, TikTok 2-parter, lads.
Straight away, you just got to prioritise.
And then the other one, what's your favourite card that you've then used then, Jamsters, this year?
I'll tell you what, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I call him Bogyard.
Oh, I call him Bourigeaud. Yeah, I regret not doing that.
Bourigeaud, yeah, that Donny, the right mid from France.
The Tots one, yeah, the
SBC. Yeah, the SBC, bro. I've only played 100 games with him, like, but I love him. I love him a lot.
At this point in FIFA, for you, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is, to be fair. He's been in my team for pretty much since he come out. Yeah, since he come out, he's the first person I got. It's between him or Weghorst. It's between him or Weghorst, to be honest. Weggy's just, bro, he's different gravy. I really loved using Weggy.
Anyone who did Richarlison there's having a lot of regret.
I did both, so...
Yeah.
And are you regretting it?
No, because Weghorst definitely accumulated a lot of games. I don't know if I still got Weghorst. Let's have a quick look. I know he's accumulated a good amount of games. Yep, there he is. 396 games for me, Weghorst.
589.
All right, top trumps. All right, fine.
Sorry.
You win.
Yeah, he even beats my Andre Silva one, but probably not cross counts, though. Pretty sure I got 200 on the other account.
Do you know what your most capped player is in Jamsters? Unless you probably ended up saying
they're all probably no, it's more than likely it's probably one to watch Upamecano. But before I gulagged him, I had like, I think I almost had 1,000 games. I didn't have quite 1,000 games with him. I think I had like 930 games with him, I think, because I packed him day one. Like literally, I got the game. I got him out my one to watch pack, and he was in my team from then until team of the season. So you're talking like 8 months of just solid use of Upamecano. I mean, he was sick.
I packed him tradable. I'm trying to remember. I packed day one to watch that was worth something tradable for a while. I think it's like 100k, whoever it was, and then I think I regretted it. So it probably was him.
Yeah, he went he went up to about 300 or 400,000 with his 86 inform. But
and then obviously the boost to the 87 for the wins in a row. The wins generally. I still hold a grudge against Jesse March for that.
Fraud.
Jesse March is a fraud. He managed to take Leipzig to like bottom half of the table, so Andre Silva didn't get the upgrade. Oh, I was pissed. Absolutely pissed. Final game. I think it's under Tedesco at that point, but yeah, it's terrible. At least they won the DFB Pokal, I guess.
My most capped player is Hakimi, Team of the Year with 919.
I actually wonder how many games. I'm actually going to have a quick look at Hakimi now. Oh, no. It'll be Marquinhos and Hakimi. Marquinhos, 1,076 games I've got with him. I didn't even think about him.
You don't think about sort of defenders or like goalkeepers.
I must have had like 1,500 games on Upamecano then. But I must have had a load of games because literally I used Marquinhos and Upamecano together up until team this season when I packed Todibo.
Let me have a look at how many games I've played on FIFA this year, period the end, on the main account. Because that's genuinely going to interest me.
That's going to be a lot for me. Let's have a look. Because that's got the friendlies included.
I've played over 2,000.
I don't know if it's that many.
I don't think it's 2,000.
Let's have a look.
Got 1,240 wins, 59 draws, 817 losses.
I've definitely not broken 2,000. I've barely broke over 1,000. And the fact Andre Silva's half of them is not a surprise.
Not on the main or second?
On the main, this is... I've done 1,274 games.
I'm coming up to 1,900 games on my main account.
Absolutely making me look like I hardly played a game. I need Brad back. Where's he? Where's he to say he's only played like 200?
Yeah, he doesn't even like get 8 wins and div rivals each week. So I think he only really does foot champs.
Pretty much, that sums it up. Like when he's giving away drafts, that's about it.
But I think that is going to be it for the questions for this week. Jamsters, thank you for coming on to this week's podcast.
Thank you for having me, boys.
Yourself.
Yeah, it's been good.
No problem. Anytime, mate. Preferably when you're still in FIFA 23.
No, I'm sorry, I don't play the game. I just don't like it anymore.
That's fair, mate. That's fair.
Also, Luke, thank you as always for being on the podcast.
No problem, mate.
Everybody that has got this far to listening to the podcast as well, you're legends, and me and Luke will... No, actually, no. Luke is off next week.
I might not be back in time.
Yeah, me and Brad will see you next week and might have a different guest on. Double guests in 2 weeks. That'll be an interesting one. But everyone, bye-bye and see you next week.
Peace out, guys.